On this week's episode of the Grab My Banner podcast, we're going to take a little bit of a trip down memory lane, talk about some of our old favorite things from Apex Legends from back in the day. We're going to go into two discussion topics, one about the maps and one about the legends. And why don't you join us? Why don't you come along with us? Grab yourself a snack, lean back in your chair, listen, and reminisce about the good old days of Apex Legends. We're also going to have gambling, and we will finish off the show. So without further ado, let's get into it. Welcome to the Apex Legends Sex Hotline. How can I help you?
Hi, I was looking to book my girl Watson if she's available right now.
She's actually booked all the way through till next week. I'm sorry about that.
Man, it's okay. Do you have anybody else that might be able to do what I need?
I have a master of their craft waiting on the phone line ready for you.
Oh, a master. All right, now you got my interest piqued. Send her my way. Hey, baby. You're speaking with the super producer. How you doing tonight?
I plan on getting under your skin. Real close and personal.
Oh, baby. Maybe if I'm lucky, I can get under yours, too.
I'm not gonna make it quick. That would spoil all the fun.
I hope you don't make it quick. What am I gonna do with all these quarters I brought?
Beg for your life. It's good for both of us.
Oh, damn. You must have some strong hands around my neck right now. Is that what's going on? Please, don't let go. Make me scared. I'm fucking scared right now. Please, baby.
That's the sweet aroma of fear.
I did release that fear aroma a little quick. I'm glad you got a deep sniff while it was there.
Scream. Make sure everyone can hear you.
You're making sure I get my quarters worth tonight, baby.
Do you know how many millions of times I've done this?
Did you say millions? Damn, baby.
Let me watch your face while you go.
You already had 3 times. I'm a little disappointed that you didn't notice. That was 4.
What's your name? I have to know.
You must be dehydrated, because I told you at the beginning. You're being plowed by the super producer.
I wish there was more time to spend with you.
I got a gallon bag full of 25-cent pieces that I'll spend on you all night. But you're making me a little tired with all this screaming and yelling.
You should thank me. You can rest now.
Thanks for taking care of me. I think you know I need it.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Grab My Banner podcast, episode number 38. And boys, Kyle, I don't even know if he is a Dragon Rider. Still has not sent in the video. I have not seen a 360 Sentinel shot. He just left it. He hasn't done anything. He's not even a Dragon Rider. The leader of the Dragon Riders has still yet to show himself as a true leader of the Dragon Riders. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting, to be honest with you. I hate it.
He just came into the conversation to create controversy and then dip. Really, it was a sabotage from the beginning. He had no intention of being a leader, man. He didn't want to lead the Dragon Rider charge with their flashy shit. He just thought it was cool. He wishes that's what he could be. And now a bunch of people are getting behind him when what would serve them best would to be in the clock in, clock out mentality and get that consistent paycheck like the workhorses.
I'm sorry, what?
Either way, I think we can all agree on one thing, though, that we know Kyle can't do it, right?
Oh, yeah, no.
There's no way.
Yeah,
no,
we can all agree with that.
That's not a chance.
Okay.
Kyle, yeah, listen, he let you know, struggled in the kill department.
He struggled.
He couldn't beat his line, and he had the worst win ratio of the entire podcast.
I think Kyle is just struggling on a human level. You know what's sad about it, too, is that Kyle probably had the most amount of Dragon Riders join and hop onto his bandwagon, and you got to think maybe they need a new leader. I mean, I just really think Kyle needs to send in the video. There needs to be a 360 Sentinel shot.
I think 360 Sentinel. Fuck, I'll even take a fucking 360 Wingman.
I'll take a 360 Wingman. I'll take anything at this point. I am starved.
If he stands there and shoots a dummy, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'll be cool with that too. You know what? If he sends in a measly video of him jumping off an octane pad in the firing range and at least getting like a Kraber shot on a still moving target, I'll be fine with that. But he's got to show something here. There is no dedication to his craft at this point.
I put money that his sensitivity is not high enough to do a full 360.
No, there's no way. And the other thing too is, you would think that a dragon rider, somebody, or the president of the dragon riders, somebody who is the lead dragon, you think these videos would be coming out all the time. I haven't seen one. I would say I haven't seen him do that since the Modern Warfare 2 days.
I think
it's disgusting. Remember, Brian? He was the one using the Barrett 50 cal in our no-scope battles. He was the one using the ACOG, Barrett 50 cal. All of us were using the intervention like ballers, and he was using the Barrett 50 cal.
And he's running up and barrel stuffing him and just pulling the trigger and spraying.
That sounds like a workhorse move.
Yeah, and like
it does.
You know what else sounds like a workhorse move, which was also Kyle's MO, was using the noob tube. All the time, because that's 100%. Like I don't give a shit what anybody thinks about me. I'm just out here to get the fucking.
I'm
results.
not gonna lie. I was playing with him during his games, and I did see him break out a Spitfire.
Whoa!
Ooh,
that's some insider.
Dude, that's a heavy allegation.
Listen, Brian, what you're telling me is you've seen this man, the leader of the Dragon Riders, use round two use a Spitfire.
It was blue,
and he still hasn't pulled out a
blue.
video of a 360 Sentinel no scope.
I never once saw him pick up a sniper,
bro.
Did he use a bow?
No.
Let
me put it this way: I don't think I saw him use the G7 Scout once. Aside from that, I don't think I've seen him pick up a marksman or a sentinel, or like a marksman or a sniper or even a wingman.
Bro,
this is gross.
I'm a workhorse, and I still use the bow 4 times this week. I have to say, if we don't get a video by the end of this week before the next episode, we might have to disband the Dragon Riders.
This is gross.
We might have to put in. I would say give him at least a chance for an election.
This is disgusting. We need to. We might need to have an election.
We might need to have an election for the Dragon Riders to get a new leader. We need to see some fucking dope ass clips so we can put people up for ballot, though.
I've already talked to some other people around Apex. I talked to one of our good friends, Finicky here. He's going to be playing in the ALGS tomorrow. I told him, I said, hey man, he said he was a Dragon Rider. I said, dude, you might have to take Kyle's spot because Kyle hasn't even posted a video. You're up here in the ALGS in the penthouse just dominating people. He might have to take over. We might have to have somebody from the Discord take over. We have shooters in that Discord.
Listen, I'm just saying, Kyle, I mean,
lethal American snipers in that Discord.
You need to.
This is gross. This is disgusting. This is not how I wanted to start the episode with controversy like this, but I'm going to have to.
It was going to come regardless, whether it was me breaking out the fact that he
used a Spitfire. Gross.
In round 2, while playing a Wraith.
Let me just say I'm still a free agent. I'm only saying that's gross because that's against his platform. I have nothing against the workhorses at this time. I've still yet to make my decision. So just that's why I'm saying gross. Because
honestly, with your Kraber shot that you have on TikTok,
I do have that.
You do have that. That is a pretty flashy play.
One team, one shot.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Triple collateral.
Maybe I'm the leader of the Dragon. But if I was the leader of the Dragon Riders, I would name it something else. I'd probably call it like the Big Dog Boss Hogs or something like that.
I mean,
I might have to. I might have to run, Brian. Brian looked at me with the same eyes.
You might have to run. Run against Kyle. We might have a competition there.
I might take over as the leader of the formerly known Dragon Riders and name them the Big Dogs.
I can't wait to hear Kyle's rebuttal to this when he comes back.
Hopefully.
Bro, it's a fucking mutiny.
Exactly.
That's what this is.
This is what this is. In case you guys are wondering, Kyle's got some stuff he's got to take care of, so he won't be on this week's episode. We do wish him the best, although we're shitting all over him. That's how we show our love, really. To each other. So Kyle won't be here this week, but hopefully he'll be back ready to go for next week. Boys, let's get into the Raise Energy question of the week. Don't forget to head on down to repsports.com, REPP sports.com, where you can use code BANNER, BANNER, for all Raise Energy products. Boys, each legend walks into a courtroom in front of a judge awaiting sentencing. What are they being charged with? Let's go.
Well, I mean, the easiest one for me on these is always Octane. And I have 3 on this. He's in there for a triple offense. 1 is buying drugs.
Okay.
2, running under the influence.
Running, what the fuck?
And the last one is stealing all the loot.
Okay, yeah, he does do that pretty frequently. Honestly, that's not really him. That's more the people who play him. If you do that, fuck you.
He is running under the influence quite frequently.
Yeah, but he does do that. So he's still going. He's going to jail.
Listen, he's still going. It's been more than 3 offenses. It's now a felony.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I actually said for Octane, I agree with all your charges. I do think his is a little bit more public. I think that he was on an episode of Cops. And he was probably like the star of the episode where he's just sprinting.
He tried to outrun the cops.
Yeah, he's trying to outrun the cops.
He probably
does a good job.
He probably did outrun the cops.
He probably ran so fast that he got away from the original cops and accidentally ran into the other cops.
Yeah,
like that didn't even know that he was a fugitive.
He was that car racing down the freeway so fast that he runs into the spikes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, except it was another grenade. And
it was
his legs
his
are gone
feet
again.
Yeah, it was his feet that ran into the spikes, and then he just tripped and fell and died. Not died, but like, you know, he's getting sentenced.
Lifeline's putting new legs on him right now.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you on Octane right there. For Gibraltar, I had attempted robbery heading into the local Cinnabon and trying to hold up the Cinnabon store, get himself some yummy food. That's mine for Gibraltar. I don't think anything else really makes sense other than, you know, all the other things that he does wouldn't really equate to crimes. It's just him eating excessively because he's fat as shit.
I said he didn't get. I said he didn't get up when the hometown buffet asked him to leave.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. Yeah, he doesn't leave when he's at the Sizzler just fucking arguing with the manager. I had for Fuse public nudity from pissing in public. Obviously piss drunk while he's doing this. Just absolutely schlammered. Needs to piss, whips it out in front of, you know, like a church or something, just starts pissing on the walls.
Yeah. What are you going to do? Nature calls.
Wow.
He doesn't do it on purpose. It's just
he didn't know where he was.
He doesn't know where he is.
Yeah, he just got too drunk.
I actually made an emotional decision today, and that was that the people always know that I'm going to come up with one for Watson, and I'm sick of being so predictable.
Oh, okay. Good, because I got one.
I'm trying to interject a little bit of unpredictability into the workhorse ethos because I'm
because it's consistently just the Spitfire bitch move. Gotcha.
I don't want to be considered vanilla. Like I said, I've been picking up rounds. Any round past round 3, okay, I get crazy. That's all I'm saying. But
crazier than Kyle.
Yeah.
Clearly not hard to do.
But please, I'd love to hear somebody else's idea for Watson for once.
Watson,
I actually have an idea. You have one too?
I do.
Oh, you go first.
Okay, Watson is standing in front of the judge for her misuse of an electric eel.
That's gross. That's fucking disgusting. But I went along the same path, and I said that hers is also attempted robbery, like my Gibraltar one, but it was stealing from the local aquarium. She was going straight to the
octopus den.
I didn't want to say it like that, but yes, that's where she was at. That's where she was, ready to go, pumping it up.
That's awesome. Well, you know, I didn't leave Watson all the way out. I put crypto was brought in for invasion of privacy charges, using his drone to try to see some titties. And if there was anybody in the lineup based on the lore that he'd be doing it to, I think it'd probably be Watson.
I had for Rampart owning a chop shop, having
that 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
You always see those videos too of like chop shops getting busted down, and there's just like 80 people outside on the ground getting arrested. It's like everybody was in on the chop shop.
I'm going to throw this out there. A lot of people don't know what a chop shop is. Let them know.
So you could probably have a better description than I do.
Basically, a chop shop is where, say someone steals your car, they're going to chop it up into pieces and sell the parts.
Yeah.
They're going to break down your car, sell it for the parts, make money off your car, and now you're never going to find your car because it no longer exists.
But some chop shops, they kind of like exist as regular like automatic like stores. Do they not sometimes?
Yeah, they have a storefront of just a regular garage, and it looks like they're just working on a car, and all of a sudden that car just happens to be stolen, and the parts just disappear one day. They get sold.
Okay. Yeah, Rampart, definitely that.
Oh, 100%.
If Rampart was to ever go to jail.
I will say this. I got one for another female legend, which is Loba. And she's at court for not paying her surgeon.
Oh no,
Ooh.
dude! Why? Why?
Brian.
We were having a good time.
You
All of
gotta
us
just bring
together.
the mood down like
we
that.
were having the boys are together.
I mean, I could go to Horizon.
Like
too.
we didn't start the episode with enough contention.
Listen, I could go to Horizon if you want.
Yeah, go ahead. That would make me feel better if you did that.
She left her son at the park.
Oh, child endangerment.
A little bit, yes. She
Well,
was,
technically, if she ever comes back, like if she were to ever find a way to like go back in time, she would probably like get arrested. Or if she does make it like maybe 10 years, right? Like after her incident, dude, she's getting arrested. Dude.
She's going exactly to the time that's right after the statute limitations.
Yep, right there. That's how she would get away with
Which
it.
actually, there's no statute limitations for
Child
abuse.
endangerment?
Yeah,
Yeah.
child abuse, child
I would
endangerment,
assume.
there's none.
Yeah,
So,
that's a good thing
that's
to
one of
not
the-
have a statute of limitations.
That's one of the ones that you can't do.
For Pat.
Speaking of-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Child endangerment. For Caustic, I had not paying multiple parking violations.
Out of everything, it's that.
Yeah,
It's
just
just
kidding.
normal.
I had him brought in for having more than 100 orphans in one U-Haul.
That's
That's
more
how
than,
they found it.
that's
That's the parking violation.
That's not the charge name. There's multiple charges that go with that. But yeah, that's like the general consensus of what happened.
That's him trying to plead the case, and the judge goes, "We pulled 20 orphans out of your van.
Real talk, I get like you guys
There
ever
was
see
30 to start."
you guys ever see the first season of Dexter,
Oh,
the ice
dude,
truck killer?
yes.
I get serious ice truck killer vibes from Caustic all the time. Like if
Yeah,
Caustic was any of the killers in Dexter, I think it'd be the ice truck killer, or I can't say the other one without spoiling the show.
He
but
would be Dexter himself. That's the other option.
that could be it.
Yeah.
But I don't. But Dexter's like actually,
But he's methodical.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
very methodical, and he's very like. You guys need to watch Dexter.
Yeah, go watch
Go
Dexter.
watch
What
Dexter.
the fuck are
And
you
it's
doing
coming
if
back.
you haven't watched
Dexter's
the show?
coming back,
It is
too.
coming back
Just-
too. After one, I won't even spoil that.
Yep, we can't say anything.
Anyway, so I'm moving on to Bangalore. I actually don't think Bangalore is getting charged with anything. I just said Bangalore is the judge deciding the sentence for all of these people that we've just mentioned right now.
No, dishonorable discharge.
That would be a bad one. But
The-
do you
the-
get arrested for that?
It's a court martial.
yeah.
It's within the military.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that just because she did something that was against orders, but kind of making the right choice type of deal. Where it's like one of those, like
yeah.
it's like we have to do this to follow the rules,
Yeah,
but
like-
we don't want to do this.
We sent you on a mission to go like take over like a town with a bunch of women, children who didn't do anything wrong, and she decided she wasn't going to do it, so she left.
I was going to say the task was to continue the mission or save her comrades, and she saves her comrades.
Well, that's probably better.
yeah, I feel like that would be a better one.
That's much better than mine.
And yeah,
For Revenant, I had one, and normally this would never be a charge in any court at all, but for Revenant, I feel like they had to make a new one, and it's excessive murder, because you're not going to stop Revenant from murdering people. That's just not what he's going to do. But if you get him on the right path, he might murder the right people for you, but he could get blood-hungry, excessive murder, maybe 2 or 3 murders above what he was supposed to be murdering. So
Yeah.
excessive murder for Revenant. For Revenant.
Over his quota.
Yeah, over the top.
so I had he killed the previous judge. And
Nice.
the next one was as an accomplice to Caustic by making the orphans.
Ouch. Yeah, that'd be weird. That'd be tough.
And-
It might go in together.
Yep. Sorry, Lobo.
Might be in the same cell. That would be awful.
Oh my
Imagine
God.
being the third person in a cell with Caustic and Revenant.
Yeah.
There's nothing you could do. Dude.
What are you in here for? Excessive murder.
Yeah, you're just like, oh
Yeah.
fuck.
Both of them.
He just looks at you. He's like, shut up. I'm on the sex hotline right now.
What would you even do in that situation? I feel
done.
like I'd just start shitting on the ground.
Yeah, you're just like,
I just try to get gross enough to like have them not come close to me.
Bro,
That's probably the only option.
That's
Yeah.
the only thing you could do.
My
The dude's
hope-
like, he was so heavy he couldn't be weighed. Like,
yeah.
Jeez. My hope would be I would have a guard so close that I could try to punch Caustics. I think Revenant would kill me too fast.
Yeah.
To go into solitary confinement.
That'd probably be your best.
That's my goal.
Solitary confinement.
Listen, I can make it in prison for one reason. It's I never leave solitary confinement.
Yep. And honestly, like, solitary confinement fucks people up, but like, what's gonna fuck you up more is like your option. You're
what's gonna
kind of
get you quicker?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, my last one is Lifeline excessive noise band playing in the Denny's. You ever see that? What the fuck is up, Denny's? Line? There's just a band, heavy metal band playing in a Denny's, just rocking the shit out of that place. That's Lifeline 100%.
Nice.
Behind the drums. That was my only one. You guys got any more?
There's always Pathfinder.
Oh yeah, Pathfinder.
Indecent exposure in the electronics department.
Yeah, we could say that. Destruction of public property. Just popping his zip line everywhere.
That or literally just
Grappling.
failing any job he's ever worked in his life.
That's true.
Yeah, he could get.
He's
He could.
just breaking, vandalism, unintentional.
His
vandalism.
wouldn't be in like a criminal court. His would be in more of like a civil court
yeah.
where
Right.
he's getting sued for just a shitload of money.
Yeah.
which he doesn't have because he can't hold a job.
Like pouring hot coffee on like a customer or like something
Yeah.
like that.
yeah, literally just where he fails.
Yeah.
Breaking a dude's nose when he was trying to dry his face off.
Yeah, there was what was the one I did? It was in the Apex book. There was one. It was like he got fired from being a chiropractor from cracking someone's spine or something like that. Like, yeah, he would.
That's a civil court. Right
yeah,
there.
it's civil.
Right
That's
there.
civil stuff right there. So yeah, I mean that's all I got. You guys good?
I'm good.
I'm
You guys
good.
good to go? All right, let's move on. Don't forget to head on down to repsports.com. Use code BANNER. Use code BANNER. 15% off all Raise Energy questions of the week. We're still sending out cards for our homies, for the people who use code BANNER. So don't forget to use code BANNER. Raise Energy, really good. Helps you get focused. No jitters. No jitters at all. We're going to hit a quick ad because we have 2 discussions this week. No main discussion. So we'll see you guys on the other side. All right, here we go. Now, I said at the beginning of the show that we're going to take a little bit of a trip down memory lane of Apex Legends. And there's been some great memories throughout the seasons, whether you like a certain patch notes, whether you like a certain legend at a certain time, a certain map at a certain time. There's been a lot of great memories throughout Apex Legends. We've had some fun seasons. We've had some tougher seasons. But for the first discussion, question of the day, you can pick any legend from any season to play forever. Which one are you taking? Now, Brian, I'm going to up this to 2. We're going to get 2 legends that we would take if we could pick any legend that we would want forever. I'll let you go first.
Oh, dude, easy. Shooting fish in a barrel. It's Pathfinder, the OG.
Is
Pathfinder.
that your number one?
That's
pick?
my number one, dude.
Okay.
That's my number one. There is a close number 2, but that is my number one. A 15-second grapple that starts as soon as the grapple connects with something is absurd.
Yeah.
Like it's ready to start again 5 seconds after you land.
People
It's
forget
insane.
that his hitbox was so different at that time, and he had no low profile.
His no low profile and his hitbox was actually what you see on his body. It was not bigger than what it was. You could shoot between his legs. You couldn't hit you couldn't even hit his little zip lines on his back or anything. Like absolutely absurd. Trying to shoot a Pathfinder, he needed low profile. He was the reason low profile was
At that
made.
time, yes.
Yeah, at that time. If I could get that back, do you know what I could do to some of these lobbies?
That would be, I mean, honestly, it would be so fun. He is actually probably the closest he's ever been to being at that level, but he still has some, differences.
Even this being the closest he's ever been to that, he's still nowhere close.
No, yeah, that was a different level of Pathfinder,
Yeah.
and the people who utilized it were so fucking hard to play against, man. Like, it was so annoying.
Let me put it this way. If you saw a Pathfinder in your lobby or you got into a fight, you had to win that fight against the Pathfinder because you did not make it out of that fight. That Pathfinder was either you were either going to kill that Pathfinder or he was going to hunt you down and kill you.
And then the other thing, too, is Pathfinder was the only one at the time who could scan the beacon.
Yeah.
Nobody else could do that. So in the early days of the ALGS, he was the only one that could scan those beacons and could like give your team that position. Nobody could do that before.
He offered things to the team as far as mobility and team rotation that were just unparalleled.
Did you open
I just took that out.
Oh, I didn't know you saw that. It has
Yeah.
like fishing line and shit.
It's very cool. It's the wrong kind of matches in there, though.
I know. I just thought it was cool.
It is really cool.
But yeah, so Pathfinder season was it 0? It was season 0, right?
I think it was actually no. It was I think almost all the way to World's Edge.
Because
Like,
I was
season,
reading
I
the
think
patch
it was
notes.
1-2.
Season 2, they took. I think is when they introduced low profile to him. I think maybe season 1
because Watson was around when she got low profile because she didn't have low profile when it started. And they Lifeline, Watson, Wraith, and Pathfinder all
Okay,
got
so
hit with
maybe
low profile
season
at the same
3.
time.
Okay, but yeah, he was good for a long time, and then things started to change where he got really, really bad. Not his fault; he just got nerfed into the fucking ground. But yeah, Pathfinder season 0 through 3, I believe, was a really fun legend to use.
Yeah, and I mean any legend like that has a mobility ability is basically on a knife's edge. A little bit too much of a buff, and they just take over the game. A little too less, and they fall off the face of the earth like Pat did.
Mm-hmm. My number one, or actually, I'm gonna start with my number one. I would love to have the Gibraltar back that didn't have the bleed through on his shield for obvious reasons. Now it's kind of cheap because I think the bleed through everybody can agree is a good thing. Even I can agree it's a good thing. But if you're asking me to pick one legend that I think I can dominate with forever, I'm going to take that Gibraltar with the 15%, no bleed through on his gun shield, with all the same abilities he has now, and I'm just going to run amok with him. It's so easy to do with too. It's so easy.
That one surprises me.
From
From you, that surprises me.
So here's my thought process behind it, because I've always kind of played a support legend in this game. Starting off with Lifeline, I played Lifeline for about 7 seasons straight, where I really didn't play anybody else. There was a time where I played Wraith for a little bit. There was a time where I played Bangalore, maybe for just like 2 months or so during the Disruptor Round era. But there was a time where, I've only played support legends, and then I picked up Gibraltar in Season 8. And Gibraltar was so fucking fun to me because he was a perfect balance between my ability to attack and my ability to show team support as well. I could heal quicker in my bubble. I also could eat a lot of damage. I could be a sponge. At the same time, I have one of the most dangerous ults in the game, and I basically get a free pass to peek around a corner because my gun shield was unbeatable. So I think for me, it's super fun to play Gibraltar. I love playing him.
I get it. I understand you. Every reason you said why. For you, that still surprises me.
Yeah.
How is Lifeline not up there? Original Lifeline with the fast heals. Is that an honorable mention at least for you? It'll
be an honorable mention. I have 2 honorable mentions, and it's one of those. But fast heals Lifeline, I did enjoy. You could do a lot, but I don't know. There's a different. Maybe it's recency bias because I played Gibraltar more recently than I have Lifeline. Even with Lifeline this season, I really haven't touched her too much. I've gotten more into Wraith, surprisingly. But I just really love that Gibraltar. But she is an honorable mention, and I'll get to that when we get there.
I think everybody's gotten into Wraith at one point or another.
Oh yeah, that's 100% true. Who's your number 2?
You know what? Mine's just a fun one. I had one that Pathfinder. You play Pathfinder to slay the entire lobby. You play this guy just because you want to screw around and make people look like an idiot, and that is Mirage. I want the invisible Mirage back.
That shit was crazy.
Dude, he pops ult and literally turns invisible. Oh my god. The bamboozles were insane. I loved it. Every bit of it.
That first season of Winter's Express.
Oh my god, dude. So fun.
He was nuts.
So I think I would play Pathfinder consistently the entire time just because he'd be so good. But if I'm trying to just screw around and have fun with the game, which is what I love to do personally, Mirage is that close second. I really love playing that Mirage.
If you only played him, and you know what's funny about Mirages is people who love to play Mirage, that's all they do, and it's like their whole personality in the game. It's awesome. But and I love people who play Mirage because he's even kind of making a comeback now. But that old Mirage ult, that shit was nuts. Mm-hmm. That shit was nuts. That shit was so hard to get around if the right person was using it. If not, then it was the easiest shit in the world. But if the right person was using it, it was crazy.
It was insane. Because I don't even think you could see the blue lights on him at that point in time.
No, I don't think so.
You had to look for the footsteps on the ground, like the little dust for the footsteps. Mm-hmm. And if you weren't on the right ground or if you weren't in water, so much more difficult.
To be honest, he still wasn't that good even at that time, but it was fun.
He was so fun that his pick rate just went so high so fast that nobody was playing anything else. So they had to nerf him.
I think he was also interesting because he was one of those legends that you had to use the points to get him at the beginning of the game. So he was kind of like sought after when you saw people playing Mirage. You're like, dude, I want to try him out so bad because you had to use those points to get him. So he was interesting for sure.
Yeah, I mean, way better than what he was prior to that as well, which is I think is another thing that made him fun. Because remember, his decoy used to just be like 8 guys standing in a circle. Mm-hmm. That sounds like the start to a porno.
Yeah.
But he was so bad before, and then they made him so different and so fun, and arguably the best healer or revive in the game.
Yeah.
On top of that, with that, and like you could actually offer something to your team in the form of an invisible revive, which is really nice. Mm-hmm. But like, it's just they nerfed him, and it made me really sad because he was actually enjoyable to play for.
Yeah,
he's getting better now.
He did get nerfed, but I think everybody else kind of got just better around him too. He didn't take too many nerfs. It was just more of like, yo, this guy is just like he can't really compete.
He got power creeped.
Oh, the other thing too is like the more people who play the game and the longer they play the game, it's a lot easier for them to figure out and to get around what he was doing. Like it was way easier.
But I think that also just inspires ingenuity from some of the players, some of the higher ranked players, and that was all. Watching a pro bamboozle another pro is just so fun.
Yeah, it is.
Because they get livid.
So my second was Wraith before they got rid of the get out of jail free card, before they made her phase go into, what was it, like a 2.5 startup time where it was just instant and you didn't get to run as far, but you still basically got to do it instantly. Here's the thing. Both of my characters, I'm going by how, like, honestly, I don't know if Wraith is as cheap as Gibraltar's, but it was basically a get out of jail free card. And now to a lot of people, that's not very fun. But it was a get out of jail free card, and the underrated part of that was how long her portal was at the time.
Oh yeah, her portal was insane. Her ability was insane, and her hitbox was just busted.
Her that was the part I was going to get to next. So her hitbox was also extremely tiny. So we're talking before low profile. We're talking early season 3.
And it got smaller when she sprinted.
Yeah, and it got smaller as she was running. Not to mention the fact that, like I said, the portal was longer, but also the portal could be in the storm for longer than 2 seconds. So you could make the craziest plays with your portal, get your teammates from out of the storm back in, or if you were like on the edge, you could go into the portal, revive a down teammate from the storm, come back in, get started all over again. It was literally the easiest thing to do. And now a lot of Wraith mains are annoyed and complaining and bullshit like that. I still think she's in a good place. I think they reworked her the best they possibly could, and I think she's all right where she is. It makes sense. I do wish her portal was a little bit longer, but whatever. It's not a big deal. But if I had to choose another one, those two right there, Wraith, Gibraltar, I'm using those to get to the top if I still had those at the time.
Nice.
Honorable mentions. You want to go first with yours?
Sure, why not?
Name as many honorable mentions as you have.
Okay. Horizons. Original Horizon.
Yeah, she was good.
She was fun. I loved playing Horizon.
I forgot about that.
Dude, she's so fun.
There
was so much utility in that. And it's amazing how just nerfing the speed of how quickly you go up changed so much.
I
barely touch her now. Original Horizon was a blast. Original Bangalore was a blast. And let me try to think. Who else was out there? Oh, dude, honestly, one legend I absolutely loved was Watson when her pylon never disappeared.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that was strong as shit. That was strong as shit. My honorable mention, like Brian said earlier, was Lifeline with the fast heals. I could literally do whatever I wanted as a Lifeline with fast heals before SBMM. I could do whatever I wanted. I was running around, and when me, Brian, and Kyle first started playing this game, a lot of our issues as a team stemmed from me just doing whatever the hell I wanted because I could basically like do whatever I wanted. If I was out of position, easily could pop a bat before, or like in just almost the same amount of time that people could pop like a regular cell. I was just basically putting myself in positions to die, but I wouldn't die because I could fast heal. And it was just like, it was so stupid what I could do. And then reviving my teammates with the shield. It's not as good as the combat medic, and I do appreciate the combat medic, but that was insane. That was so fun. The other one that you just mentioned too was the Bangalore with the speed.
40%?
Yeah, the 40% speed was very fun. She was a legend that I could use for a while.
Dude, you get shot at, you're halfway across the map.
Yeah, and Bangalore is really hasn't gotten too many buffs since then, but she's still a very good, solid character.
She's always been a good character. The issue with her has always been somebody does what she does, but better.
Yeah.
But I think now she's finally starting to creep. Now that they thickened her smoke again, now that they have her like speed boost, she's starting to get back to that spot, but she's not where she was by any sense. She was so good day one.
Yeah, and then let me think. Is there any other ones? The Watson pylon thing was fucking crazy,
dude. That literally should never have been a thing.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, but lots of good legends at different times. Let's move on to our second discussion question. You can bring back two. You know what? Let's move on to our second discussion question. We're just going to hit one quick ad, and we will see you guys on the other side. All right. Discussion question number 2. Going back, reminiscing on Apex Legends. Let's take it away from the Legends a little bit. Let's go towards the maps. Brian, you can bring back 2 POIs from any season ever, from any map. Which ones are you bringing back?
I'm actually sad that you said 2 because I've got literally like 5.
Well, you want to do 3 and then we'll do some honorable mentions? Start off with your third.
Oh, fuck. My third's Skulltown.
Yeah.
Skulltown falls at number 3
for
for me.
I was going to say it. Yeah.
And that's a fucking tough number 3.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing is, like, I think everybody knew, and I think why you have it lower maybe is a little bit because you liked other places better, but also because we knew that it was detrimental to Kings Canyon at the time. Especially after Season 1. You knew that it wasn't good because the lobbies were dying too quick.
Lobbies were dying too quick. Basically, everyone landed there. If you didn't immediately get a gun there, and not just a gun, but a good gun, you were dead.
Yeah.
Like you're
but it
probably
was fun.
not. It was fun. I love the fast-paced action. The content that came from it is amazing. I wish they would bring it back with a slight tweak of balancing it instead of just deleting it. They should have balanced it because the infrastructure for it, the high grounds, the low grounds, the tight quarters, the open areas out just outside of Skulltown, the desert part. I loved all that. It made it so interesting to fight and play in those things. The giant skull above you. On top of that, there was like 2 sections of high ground. I think that it gave some of the best gameplay you could have, especially with a high mobility game like Apex. And I wish it was back more so for the content than for me dropping there because I never lived through Skulltown.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I think, but now that it's in the future a little bit, my whole point in bringing up it was bad for the game is now you look at Kings Canyon and the state of it, and the exact same thing is still happening. So in my mind, I'm thinking, listen, I know that they will never do this. I'm just speaking from what I wish and what I yearn for. Bring it back. If it's still happening in Kings Canyon, Kings Canyon, if it's still happening, why not just bring it back and bring back a version of Kings Canyon that people actually enjoyed?
Well, they have the skull and the crane. I still have hopes that they pull part of it back out or build a city around that skull eventually. Kind of like they did with, what's that city just to the east of it now?
The Salvage? Are you talking about Salvage?
Yeah, Salvage.
Yeah.
Kind of like Salvage. I hope that they build like an extension of Salvage that connects the two there around the skull. That would be cool. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Give us something there. That spot needs to be filled, and I would love to have Skulltown back there.
Yeah. You might as well just bring it back. If the same issues are happening, just bring it back. Maybe try to find something else to eliminate. I don't know. Either way, Skulltown is a good one. My number 3 would be Drill Site from World's Edge.
I fucking forgot about Drill
Site. I
love
Drill Site. Now, not to say where it's at now is bad. I do like that area now. But
Harvester?
Drill Site, dude, oh my God. That was like our spot to go. Drill Site was by far one of my favorite spots of all time. I love Drill Site to death. It was reliable. It was all reliable.
Drill Site, okay, I don't know what it is, but our favorite points of it, like POIs that we drop, just our favorite ones, always get fucking blown up.
Yeah, every single time.
Every time. But Drill Site, dude, I forgot that was a point of interest. I got so used to Harvester being there.
Mm-hmm. No, you're thinking of Fuel Depot. Drill Site.
Drill Site.
Yes.
Yeah, Drill Site. Fuck, I need to add Fuel Depot.
No, I'm saying Fuel Depot number 2, so don't you fucking dare.
It's not my number 2.
Okay, there you go. All right. But yeah, Drill Site is on the other side of the map. You know where it is now.
Yeah.
Drill Site, I love Drill Site. We landed there all Season 5, I think.
Drill Site became staging?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Drosite became staging, and Fuel Depot became Harvester. Mm-hmm. Both those places were two of our most consistent drops on the map, and we loved it so much, and they fucked them both.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
They literally fucked every site we drop on that map.
And that's kind of why World's Edge for a long time fell out of its graces with me. This season I've actually grown to appreciate World's Edge a lot.
Yeah.
Because I think it's actually good for the game. Because it's the only map where I don't see from...
It's the only one you can defend yourself. You can hold your positions.
And there's every POI has enough where you can kind of survive. Whereas other ones, the POIs sometimes don't have enough for your team to survive. But yeah, that was my number 3. Brian, your number 2.
My number 2, I might steal one from you.
Go ahead.
Bridges.
Fuck. That was my number 1. Go
That
ahead.
was your number 1?
Yeah.
Dude, I fucking loved Bridges. There was so much there to offer, and the fact that one of my favorite things about Bridges was where it was so central you could rotate out of it to arguably one of my favorite places that's still there, which is the caves. Mm-hmm. I love rotating into the caves. There's always a fight there, but going Bridges, landing on the high ground, coming down, owning the entire thing, walking your way across the bridge, killing everybody through that bridge, and pushing your way through the caves. I love that.
Bridges, it's so funny how it's called Bridges because I really believe in my mind it connected Kings Canyon. It made it good. You had the desert, the fucking desert area, it was Skull Town. You had that sandy, yellowish brown area, and then you had this green shrubs, trees, all that, and Bridges connected them both. At the middle. And so it was like the perfect marriage between two sides of a map. And I loved Bridges so fucking much, and I'm so sad that was pretty much the first POI they destroyed, was Bridges.
Pretty much. It was right in that realms of being destroyed. They also destroyed that area where containment now is, but I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best area.
Bridges, I think, was my number 1 because I really do believe it was like that. It was that place in the middle that kind of put everything together. And when the Leviathans or whatever they're called came in, I still like that version of Kings Canyon as well. But that was kind of when things went downhill for me with Kings Canyon. Bridges was by far one of my favorites.
They should have left Bridges and destroyed something else.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have been sad.
My number 2 is going to be what Brian was talking about earlier on World's Edge once again, Fuel Depot. Now, if you haven't been playing long enough, Fuel Depot was where Hammond Labs is currently now. No, sorry, not Hammond Labs. Harvester is currently now. Harvester on World's Edge. Now, ever since Harvester has come in, and I still like Harvester. I drop Harvester a frequent amount. I do like that spot. But before, Fuel Depot was another place just like Drill Site. Extremely reliable for whatever reason. Had no business being reliable, but it had a landing pad that had loot on it. It had about 4 or 5 buildings that had loot on it. It had some pills. It had everything, and then it connected once again, just like Bridges. People don't remember, but back in the original World's Edge, there was a river of water running through right in front of a Fuel Depot, and there was a long zip line that connected one area to the next, and that river was kind of the dividing line, and you could really choose how you wanted to play your game on World's Edge, whether you wanted to go back towards Capital City, or you could take that long zip line and go all the way through to the other side to where the tree was. So, very interesting rotation point, kind of in the middle, similar to Bridges, and I just loved both of those spots very, very much.
I want to state this too. One thing about both of those spots was, and I mean even Drill Site to some degree, not nearly as much, but centralized, low traffic areas with good loot. That's what we've liked, and that's what they've targeted to destroy. And it kind of makes me sad, although it doesn't really speak to where my number 1 spot that I wish we had back. And that was the original Capital City. I've said it before. I love that version of the map. I love Capital City in particular. And if there's no better feeling in this game than dropping and owning Capital City. So that I missed that big red building.
A lot of people forget that big red building. It had no walls in it. Didn't need walls. It was fucking insane. We've talked about it on this show probably 5 times, Brian, where we bring up that building and how fun it was to look across and be like, should we go? Should we go? All right, let's go. And take that zip line across and fucking battle it out.
Dude, think of this for a arenas map. Ready? For the rotation. We get one map of each.
Yeah.
Or map of each version of the map.
Yeah.
Imagine Skull Town for Kings Canyon, Capital City just those two, just the big building, the Capitol building, and the red building, or what is it, Capitol building, construction building?
Yeah.
Those areas, maybe the little building across the way that people used to land on and try to shoot you at. And then for the last one in Olympus, imagine they throw in either docks or they throw in a waterfall.
Yeah, I'd be down with that.
Dude, all three of those maps would fucking slap.
Yeah, I would be so down with that. Going into my number one would have to be the Thunderdome. Skulltown was Skulltown, and it was good. But Skulltown is Michael Jordan. Thunderdome is Scottie Pippen. You couldn't have a Skulltown without a Thunderdome. And the Thunderdome was so fucking good. It was like the perfect number 2 to a fantastic, great number 1. Thunderdome was everything. And a lot of people, in their minds, Thunderdome is number 1. But let's be honest, it wasn't. Thunderdome was a number 2. But it was incredibly good. You had the super high ground. You had the high tier loot directly in the middle. You had all the buildings surrounding it. Then you had Skulltown up over the hill. And then you could climb up the dead body. Dude,
don't forget about the 2 cities to the side of it if you ever needed to. Amazing point of interest. That was just collateral damage with Skulltown.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was on the same side as Skulltown, and unfortunately, both those places were on the bottom portion of the map rather than somewhere near the middle. But either way, Bridges was there, so you had to let Bridges do its thing. But Thunderdome doesn't get the respect it deserves compared to Skulltown. I will always say that. Thunderdome was one of the best places of all time, and Thunderdome was like a warm-up. It was like a pre-game to Skulltown. You get your stuff, you kind of get a little tipsy over there at the Thunderdome. Then you go out to the bar that is Skulltown, and you get absolutely blasted. That's exactly what Thunderdome was. It was one of the best places of all time.
Thunderdome is one of my honorable mentions.
Yeah. I don't have any honorable mentions now because you named all of my honorable mentions.
And you named all of mine but one.
So, yeah, there we go. What do you guys think? What were some of your favorite points of interest? Even if you have some favorite points of interest that you think don't get respected now that are still in each map, go ahead, send us yours on the DMs, on Twitter, on Instagram. Send us what you guys think. Send us your list of your favorite recent POIs, as well as your favorite legends or legends at whatever point they were at.
Big blue dick.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. All right, we're going to hit once again just one quick ad, and then we're going to get into the gambling segment of the show. All right, gambling time, everybody. Here we are, getting ready to go. Once again, Kyle's not here, but he sent us his bets. He sent us everything that we need to know, so we will give you and update you with his card. But Kyle is still second place, Brian. You want to go through those rankings real quick?
Yeah. You know what? Since we already said Kyle is second place, let's just we'll start at the bottom. Who do we start with at the bottom other than the super producer Troy, who we found out in the beginning of the show was probably a bottom anyway, with 146 bones.
Now this isn't telling the whole story. He had a great week.
Listen, he had a great week. He had 50 bones last week.
Yeah,
he fucking balled out. He only missed 2 bets, but he hit his gift of the Allfather, which pays out 2-1, which was a 48 bone bet. So he literally cashed in on the most important thing, and there you go.
How are you feeling?
Dude, I'm feeling awesome. I mean, that's what I had to do. Like, if I didn't hit that bet, I was SOL for the rest of the season pretty much. So I couldn't feel better, man. That was a clutch moment.
Huge, absolutely huge for him. In third place, Wyatt.
Yeah,
190 bones. You were tied for first. You were in first last week with 150, and you only went up 40.
Yeah,
that's not much compared to what the other person.
It's not much.
The second place.
It's not much.
I can tell you right now from looking at it and how that happened was you bet conservatively.
Yeah,
again, you folded back to the conservative.
I also didn't get my gift of the Allfather bet on you,
which was, I mean, that was only another 40 bones on this. You would have
that would have been good.
You would have been at 240. You still wouldn't have been. You still would have been in third place.
Yeah, but 240 to you'll get to the next.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we already know that Kyle's in second place.
He's in second, yeah,
with 260 bones, and Kyle did good. He bet very aggressively, but he missed a couple key bets, and you know what? He's in second place with 260, and the main reason he's in second place with 260 is because, you guessed it, I am in first place with 260 bones. But I mean, my name comes first.
His
in the
name
alphabet.
comes first in the alphabet.
It's my last name is spelled where it comes first, and my first name. So there's no argument here.
There's really none. And last week I made a mistake, Brian. I said that it was reverse alphabetical order. That's my bad. That was on me.
That's your bad. It's still the correct way, though.
It was still correct.
Because it's not reverse alphabetical by first name.
Yeah.
It's just alphabetical by last name.
Yeah.
So it still works.
And either way, even if Kyle wants to argue it, I locked it in. And once you lock it in, you know that once you lock it in, you've locked it in. You locked it in.
His time for rebuttal had passed.
So he wasn't first last week. He isn't first this week.
Yeah, he's still second.
Yep, he's second.
Sorry, buddy.
Sorry.
Not sorry.
Nah, I'm actually
not. I'm not.
So Troy, you're looking good. You're on the come up right now. Brian, I know you got some questions about these bets this week.
Gosh, dude, these lines are fucking tough. Wyatt, would you like to go over the lines before we get going on it?
Let's get through these really quick. Lines on me, total kills at 41, halves at 21, assists, total at 15, halves at 8, wins, total at 7, halves at 4, rounds won, total at 30, halves at 15, and total rounds played, 55, halves at 27. We move on to Kyle. Kyle, total kills 48, halves at 24. Total assists at 12, halves at 6. Total wins at 5. That's a lock. Halves at 3. Rounds won at 26, halves at 13. Total rounds at 55, halves at 27. We move on to Troy. Total kills at 30, halves at 15. Total assists at 18, halves at 9. Total wins at 8, halves at 4. Total wins at 8? Holy fuck.
That's high, man.
That's high.
That's high.
That might be a lock as
I went
well
from
for the
3 to 9
for the under, because this is the exact same situation that happened to me last week. I had a lot of kills, and then SBMM fucked my butt.
Well, here's the thing. Last week, he had to get, or you were at 9. Mm-hmm. We had like 9 total wins, which puts your halves at 5. Yeah. So for you to hit a half line last week, you had to have a perfect half.
Yeah.
That's fucking difficult.
It's not easy.
Troy's not in that spot. He has a little bit of grace and forgiveness in there, and his SBMM's a lot lower.
That's true. Rounds won total at 30, halves at 15, total rounds at 45, halves at 23. And then finishing off is Brian. Total kills at 33, halves at 17, total assists at 24, halves at 12, total wins at 7, halves at 4. Another one that I could see an under, and that's no disrespect. That's just a lot of wins.
Honestly, that's my average.
Yeah.
That's what I average at wins, so
rounds
just get wins.
Rounds won total at 30, halves at 15, and total rounds at 55, halves at 27. So those are the lines. I think a lot of these are pretty tough to bet on, but when you look at the wins,
we had these lines are similar to last week's, and we had an all-time high on this show last week of pushes. And what a push is, it means we at this show bet over or under whatever the line is set at. Mm-hmm. These lines hit dead on.
Yeah, spot on.
For example, last week Kyle had to hit over 48 kills to hit his line, or under 48 kills to miss it. He hit 48 on the dot, so there was no payout for that line, and it just fucked an entire line for people. So there was more pushes last week across the board than there's ever been in GMB history.
And I got to be honest, I don't like this board. This board's tough. This board's tough to bet on. There's very few spots where I feel like I could get a win, but the ones I picked I think are pretty solid. What do you guys think about the board? I think this one's tough.
I think it's one of the toughest boards we've ever had. I do. And what's interesting is that we have more things to bet on than ever before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, it feels like there's not a whole lot of holes. But that's where I think the gift of the Allfather bet becomes like...
so important.
Yeah, it becomes so important. And the pressure to get that right is even more immense. I really felt like my selection of that was going to make or break me this week. And I think that's, that goes to show that Brian's getting a lot better at setting lines.
There we go. So, Brian, you had some questions. You're unsure on some bets, and I know you wanted to ask some questions.
Yeah. So, first off, Troy, I got to know, man, how do you feel about that win line? That's a fucking sketchy win line. That's a lot of wins. Be straight with me. How do you feel about that win line, getting 8 wins this week, or even 4 in a given quarter?
Yeah, honestly, man, like I think I could easily lose that. I think what's going to end up happening is when I start playing my next set of games, it's going to be way harder because of the SBMM. I'm going to lose a lot up front. So if I was going to bet my win line, I'd do second half.
So I want to throw this out there for our listeners. We play 12 games every week. We record the stats from 12 games every week. Kills, assists, wins, rounds won, and total rounds. And this is all in arena mode. And with those stats, we set lines and bet on it. Obviously, 12 games, so a half is the first 6 games or the second 6 games, and the total was the full amount of the 12 games. So Troy saying that he would say if you're going to bet on a second or on a half for his wins, he's saying do it the second half, so the last 6 games.
Right, because I think my SBMM is in a really tough place. So after some losses, especially if I have like maybe 3 plus losses in the first half, hopefully the SBMM starts to adjust by the second half. So I think that would be a pretty safe bet is the second half.
If you're looking for safety, Brian, I do have his total wins under.
That's the line that I'm actually looking at, and the way you were talking, it does not sound confident. I have one other question for you. Will you be playing with a teammate?
No. I didn't play with a teammate this week either.
Yeah, I don't. It's difficult. It's weird.
It's hard to say. Yeah. But this, I think like I said, this was my first time in over a month of playing Apex that I actually had a teammate, or I had a full team of teammates in every single game. It was the first time in a really long time, and it made a huge difference. Huge difference. So if that happens again, I think I have a really good chance of hitting most, if not all, of my lines. But that's just kind of a luck thing, man.
Yeah.
So you're saying if you get teammates, you'll hit it?
I really do think that I can hit 8 wins. I think push. I don't think I'll get 9 again because I think I really sucked ass the previous week, and I came in really focused this morning, and so it kind of was like a perfect storm. But I came off a good week, so my SBMM is going to be way higher.
I want you to know I've written my bet and crossed it out 3 different times from the way you're talking.
Yep.
Gosh dang it, Troy.
Well, here's
there's 2 bets I know I want to bet on. There's 2 lines I like. It's Kyle's kill line or Kyle's win line. I want to bet over on Kyle's win line, and I'm going to bet over on Kyle's win line. It's just how much. Do I have more faith in Troy missing his wins, or more faith in Kyle getting his wins?
Bro, bet on me.
The thing is,
bet on me because that'll give me so much motivation to slay.
Brian, Kyle
that'll give me all slay. If you bet an under on me, Brian, I'm gonna get 10 wins next week.
Listen,
Kyle cannot fuck this up.
Listen,
it's 5.
It's Kyle. I have to literally. I know. So me and him, I'm in first. He's in second, and we have the same number of bones, but I'm in first. And I got.
You are in first, yes.
Listen, but so what I know about Kyle is I have to bet all fucking out on this,
dude.
I have to empty the bank on this because if he hits a gift to the Allfather, I'm fucked.
Brian, he will not miss 5. Honestly, Brian, if you bet on that and he doesn't get it, we get to just fucking make fun of him all the time. If you don't get 5 wins and he bet 200 on that means he loses 2.
Okay, so he bet 200 on it. So am I a bitch for doing 201?
No, I think that's actually fucking hilarious.
I think so too.
201 bones over Kyle's.
That's also going to make me change mine. I talked myself into
wins.
I put
gift to the Allfather.
I only put 50 before and put 90 on that. Dude,
okay,
because even if he ruins it, it's just Troy going up for another victory, and fucking Kyle gets dead last again,
which is hilarious. Because I'm not last if we're tied.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't get dead last, he would be last this season because he didn't get 5 wins when everybody bet on him to get 5 wins.
Troy, I am still betting on you.
You're betting under.
On your under, and I'm gonna put 29 bones on it.
Oh my gosh, Brian, that's weak, but I'm gonna crush it. The wins I feel like are my favorite. They're my favorite stat from this season.
First half wins.
Because
under on your first half wins. You won't get 4 wins in the first half.
There was at least a couple moments where I had to clutch up to get that win, and it felt so good.
Literally the only line that I care about right now are my wins and the fact that my assists are so much fucking higher than everyone else's.
Yeah, that's when you want to keep going.
Dude, and I'm pissed. So we also keep tracking knocks, you guys, and I have the worst knock to kill ratio. I have more knocks that are not followed up on by teammates than I do anything else.
Yeah.
Anybody else. It's by a good margin.
You've been this way since day one. It's just unfortunate.
I get knocks, but apparently I don't.
Brian,
get
it's not just Apex. You just have like unlucky things that just happen to you.
It
like
sucks.
when you go to McDonald's and you order a burger and you just don't get a bottom bun,
Or
the
literally-
base of the bun.
Or literally, I will be driving to work, leave the exact same time as somebody else driving to the. By the way, I used to work with my girlfriend. To the same place, and I will show up 10 minutes later because I hit every red light.
Yeah, that's just you. That's Brianisms right there. Either way.
Lastly, I got one more bet I got to do is 30 bones, and you know what? I did it last week. I'm doing it this week. If you can't bet on yourself, who you going to bet on? Betting
God.
my total wins. No, I can't do that. I know I'm going to hit 7. Like that's my I got to trust numbers that I'm going to hit 7 total assists over.
Okay, there you go. Troy, do you want to go next, or do you want me to hit it?
I will go next gladly, because just listening to this conversation, I've become more and more confident. I'm betting an over on Kyle's win line. Okay, I'm betting an over on Kyle's win line.
Total?
I have 150. Excuse me. I have 146 bones. I'm betting 144 on the over for Kyle's win line, and I'm doing that as my gift of the Allfather bet. And like we were talking about a little bit earlier, this entire card is kind of sketchy. I feel like that's the one hole in the whole card. So I have to dive through it, because if I don't keep the pedal down, I'm going to really fall behind. And my other two, which are more or less throwaways, Brian, that I'm going to do his first half kills under for a bone, and Wyatt's total rounds under for a bone. Those are going to be my two. Those are going to be my two kind of courtesy bets, because here on the GMB podcast, we always have to do at least three bets.
Gotta get at least 3.
What was the bet on Wyatt?
Total rounds under.
Okay.
All right.
I'm surprised somebody bet the total rounds line. That's a new line that we're doing.
I'm experimenting with it with my single bone bet.
All I know is there are 2 stats across the board with all of us that look very similar. Is 3 out of the 4 players, so 75% of the players at this table had 55 total rounds on the dot played this week, and 75% of the table, not the same people, had 30 rounds won this week.
Okay. All right, so Troy's bets made me adjust some of my bets, because everybody is on Kyle so fucking hard, so I have to go even harder. I had a Troy first quarter perfect quarter, because I love betting the perfect quarter lines. I think they're fun as shit. I had to delete it because Troy went super hard on Kyle, putting all of his bones in, and if he wins that, which he will, because Kyle, if you fuck this up, I swear. He's going to win it. He's going to have...
Wait. What happened last time you bet on Kyle?
He fucked it up.
Do not bet on Kyle. Listen, you were not allowed
Do you
to bet
remember
on
that?
Kyle.
It was you and me together.
Yes.
You nuked us
You
both.
cannot bet on
Nuked us.
Kyle.
No, I have to.
You
I have to
motherfucker.
do it. It's Brian. What else am I going to put money on?
Put it on
Like,
Troy's
this
line.
is the best one. Well, I do have money on that.
Bro,
So
the whole
put
card,
it on the under.
whole card is
So the
nightmare.
20 that I took away from Troy's first quarter perfect line, I put the 20 on Troy's wins under. So that is now 40 bones rather than 20.
So
that it's
okay,
gonna be.
so say the line just straight out. What is it?
So it's going to be Troy's wins under, total wins under for 40. So that's the way I'm looking at this, because I need more money on the back end. On my main bet, my gift of the Allfather bet, 90 bones on Kyle's total wins over at 5. Kyle, I swear. Then I move on to Kyle's kills under at 48. That's a lot of kills. I know he got it, but he's stressed.
How many bones?
20. And then my last bet is Brian's first half assists over at 20. He gets assists. That's just, he's a point guard. He's out there just diming everybody. So there we go. That's my card.
I see there's one bet to me on your card that again just boggles my mind that I don't understand.
Yeah.
And that's the bet on Kyle's total wins. The reason why is if any of us, we all bet gift to the Allfather on it. That's been across the board, the gift to the Allfather. And we've all bet more than you, which means if any of us hit it, we are exponentially doing better than what you did on it.
Yeah, but I also have more bets than you guys.
Yeah, but to me it makes more sense to either pile all in on that and try to keep pace with Kyle. And
How many? I keep forgetting how much I have. I thought 90 was the last.
You had 190.
Okay, so I got 20, 40, 80, 100, and 90. So I'm all out.
So what I'm saying is, I would either say you need to put all in on Kyle or pull all out of him.
You're right.
And either all in on Kyle or all out and hope that he misses that line. Because if he misses that line, you benefit more than anyone else.
Okay,
from
so
it.
take away my Kyle's kill underline. Take that away. That 21. Add the 20 to the gift of the Allfather. So it's 110 now.
110. I mean, Kyle and I are betting 200.
I know, but I want other bets on other things.
I was going to say pull off of Kyle entirely.
Nah.
Off his off that kill or off that win line.
See, here's the thing. I would do it for Troy's total wins under, but I do think Troy has confidence enough to pull that off.
Well, here's the thing. If Kyle hit that line and you get paid out from it, you get paid out less than anyone else. But if he misses that line, you benefit, but you don't benefit nearly as much as you would. You're betting against yourself.
How? I still have, if he misses that, I still have a chance to make.
So if he misses it, you benefit purely off of the fact that the rest of us are pretty much shit out of luck.
Yeah.
If he hits that and you get paid out, you get paid out less than the rest of us.
Okay.
You see what I mean? So you putting all your bones on that bet actually hurts you in the long run. You're hoping that he doesn't hit that bet purely because you don't have as much on it as us. So either you outbid us on it, or you pull off of it and go on.
But at the same time, the season's not close to over. Right. And if I see something on the card next week that I feel is even more dominant than this, then I can go in on that.
I mean, you can. Yep.
But then at the same time, you guys might have more money.
That's true. So we'll see. If you can leave it, but
the only one I would take away is maybe your first half assist line over.
The GMB Credit Union advises against it, but if you want to take that line, you go ahead.
It's too early for that kind of a strategy, I think you want to just take your best possible bet here because, like you said, there's going to be so much time in the rest of the season to make your skill as a gambler produce dividends in the future. You just need a lot to work with early on. Yeah, I wouldn't start to get all cute with it because this is a really tough card. And even though what Brian's saying is correct on its face, that if we all shove pretty much on that one bet and then you don't, then if we all blow it, you're sitting really pretty. That's true. But the reason we're all shoving on it is because it's almost a lock. So pulling off of that is a huge risk, and it's so early, and we all have shoved. So even if you lose it, you're really not much worse off than the rest of us. You're actually more diversified than the rest of us, as is anyway. I think.
I just want to say this: if I don't even want to put this negative energy out there, but let's say I'm not even going to say the L word. Let's just say it doesn't go the way we hope. We have all been roasted at this table at some point or another during this show. That will be the biggest roasting of all time.
Kyle, you're don't miss the
line.
He might
quit the show.
The pressure that's coming from us having the potential to roast him on this might make him miss this line.
He might quit the damn show if this does not work out for him.
Okay, so real fast before we go further, I'm going to go ahead and go over Kyle's line or Kyle's bets
get
for the
Kyle's
week.
Bets up there.
So Kyle has 3 bets this week. He made it real easy on me. Thank you, buddy. Sorry you're going to lose this week. 200 bones over on Kyle's total wins. That's his gift to the Allfather. That's the push everyone's betting on, is saying Kyle will get more than 5 total wins this week. I feel like that's safe. 25 bones under on Troy's total wins. That seems to be the second. Everyone's kind of going for these same ones, saying these are where they're at. But Kyle threw out one different one and made what's possibly the worst bet on the table when you bet on the worst teammate on the table being a good teammate.
Oh, no.
And that is he put 25 bones over on his own assist. Kyle has the lowest assist line at the table. He literally averages half as many assists as I do.
What are you doing,
bro?
That's a spite bet from a distance.
Mm-hmm. He didn't like the line, so he said, fuck it, I'm betting on myself.
That's a spite bet.
Listen, I love betting on myself too, Kyle, but sometimes you just can't make the bet.
What is that?
You did put him at the average of 1 assist per game.
Dude, Dude, he had 8 the week before.
That's so crazy.
That is so weird, dude. Okay.
He doesn't get assists. He's not a team player.
All
He's
right.
a fucking dragon rider, bitch ass.
Well, maybe not so. He might not be that for very much longer.
Oh, maybe not the.
Yeah, because I might run. I'm telling you, I'm getting my campaign ready to go. Like,
Are you going to petition for a name change?
Yeah, 100%. We're going to be the big dogs. We could either be the big dogs or the boss hogs, whichever one people like. I don't want to make it the whole thing.
It's got to be one or the other.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do the big
Just
dogs.
honestly, just for the simplicity.
Well, maybe I shouldn't do the big dogs because you're the dire
you-
wolves. That's
can you-
just a big dog.
I mean,
I'll do the boss hogs.
I was going to say, can you make a new emoji of like a half dog?
They do have a
half-
warthog, though.
Oh,
So I think we
that's
might be the
interesting.
boss hogs. But, that's only if
mean-
I win, which I think I'm going to win. But that's only if I win.
I think we're gonna have to get a vote. We need to see the best clips from the two of you, and we'll let the community decide on that.
I'm going to run against him.
No,
and
is this your announcement? You're throwing your hat in the ring.
Well,
officially.
once the Dragon Riders mutinize and they start to be like, we need a new leader, once I see enough of those comments in the Discord, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, I'm going to run against him, and I'm going to take control.
Allegedly
At this point. It's like anytime there's a presidential election, you hear about who's going to run, but you don't really know for sure until actually they throw their hat in the ring. I'm getting dangerously close to chucking my fucking hat. I might show up to next week's show without a hat on. Actually, I might show up to next week's show with the hat in my back pocket and I throw it at his face, throwing my hat in the ring. That's how close I am. Because at first I was like, I'm just going to stay a free agent, but I can't stand to watch these Dragon Riders get disrespected like this.
So
it's gross.
So you're trying to purchase the faction.
Well, yeah, and I let me tell you something, Brian. I think that they would like me as a leader more.
Yeah, I don't think he's trying to purchase it. I think he's trying to win it just by popular vote. I think it's a full blown mutiny. It's going to be video versus video is what it's going to be.
You ever see that episode of
versus
Archer?
Clip.
You ever see that episode of Archer where he takes over the pirate island, but then halfway through they're just like, "Fuck you" because you don't do anything. That's what's going on right now.
Listen, I want to see clips, and I want the viewers to send in clips too. If they think that they can maybe take a leadership role in this faction, I would love to see that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, let me say this too. If the community wants to take over before me, I'd rather you do that. But can anybody step up? That's
there's
really
a few
the
guys
question.
that come to my mind.
There are
There's
some
guys in this community that come to my mind. I'd love to see some clips come through into our DMs, and then I would love to see the community themselves actually get to vote on that.
Yeah, if we get blown away by something, we will for sure
100%
bring it up on the show.
You will have a nomination.
We'll let the people know.
Now, here's the thing about the community. If they say, hey, you know what? I would love to do it, but I can't because, I'm just not at that level yet. I respect that more than I respect saying you can do it and just not showing up.
So question. Is the 360 Sentinel shot or Kraber shot or anything 360 or something just flashy the only way that Kyle can silence this banter?
A circle is mandatory at this point. I'm not sure with what weapon, but a circle is mandatory at this point. I would actually just like to see him win a game of an arena using only a bow. If he can do that with at least one kill each round.
Outside of the first round.
Yeah. Outside of the first round. He has to get one kill every round at least. But, you're still on shaky water
that,
there.
A bow is not even hard.
That thing hip fires like a laser beam.
I'm being nice right now because I don't want to have to take this from him.
Listen, he said he was a flashy player. He said he was there. He had ice in his veins, cool under pressure.
It's disgusting.
He said he was going to be able to land some crazy-ass shots, assumingly under pressure. And all this just, you would assume that we would have seen some of this by now. I posed the question on Twitter. I go, is there any footage that has come out as of recent times of Kyle doing something that is over the top? No? Okay, I'm still asking.
Listen, the only thing he's done over the top since this season has been dyeing his hair and getting frosted tips.
That's true.
And that has nothing to do with Apex Legends.
Yeah, listen, it's not enough to just get a win with the bow, bro. We're asking for one measly saucy clip.
I need a saucy
clip.
Listen,
We need one saucy clip, dude.
I'm not a flashy player. I know that. I get fucking wins. You can get wins without being flashy. But that being said, Kyle, you said you're flashy. I don't even care if you get a win this week.
No.
Actually, no, I do care.
Well,
you
yeah,
better get some wins.
Yeah. You better get 5 of them.
You better get 6.
6.
You need 6 wins. But that being said, yeah, I better see at least one badass fucking shot.
There's
come out
no
of
way
that.
he doesn't get 6 wins, right? Like, there's no way.
I mean, listen, he's shooting for 50% wins on that, and I think his average is 46%.
He'd have to hang up the sticks.
Dude, he might have
to hang
he
those
might
sticks
have to
up.
hang up the
Oh,
sticks.
man.
Dude.
One of the best part about it, if he does miss the line, there's a very solid chance, because he will probably miss his assist line at the same time,
Dude.
that he will walk out of this with, at most, 50 bones.
Dude, he might have to retire.
And that, Troy, if you hit your lines, I want you to know dead out this week, there is a legitimate chance that Kyle has to go back to the GMB Credit Union
Oh, no.
this season.
And I'm going to tell you what, I talked to some of those guys at the GMB Credit Union. They're not going to be as lenient as they were last time because he got
some good deals.
he got some great
He got
deals.
some killer.
He got literally
Got the
like
benefit
0
of the
interest
doubt.
on some
Dude.
of those. He's not going to get 0
The
interest.
straight up
He
benefit
might,
of the doubt.
dude. He might get the fucking Troy Credit Union deal. He might have to take it.
Oh,
That is
Will he ever?
all the bones, all the interest. Just fucking. He's got to hand it all over to Troy. So I don't like. This is tough.
Dude, if that clown doesn't get 6 fucking wins, I'm not loaning that guy anything. I'm fucking. He can fucking walk home.
clown.
I do not.
he can walk.
There's
him.
no respect, dude.
Dude.
No respect for that kind of a performance. You can't win half your games, bro.
If he sends, if I get the picture in the group chat and I don't see 6 W's on that paper, we might have a standoff in the game room.
Bro, we might have to do a boxing championship
Dude.
where the 3 of us box him at once.
We might have to record the episode with Kyle at a 6 foot distance from us with like a glass pane in between us because like we're just
You
gonna be
mean COVID?
throwing shit on it. Yeah, like COVID regulation because of how pissed we're gonna be. At him.
Bulletproof glass.
We will be recording inside. He'll be outside on the door, just holding the microphone up, and I'll have to tell you what he says through my headset because that's the only way we'll be able to hear it.
It's gonna look like a hood Jack in the Box.
Oh shit! All right, boys, were you done ragging on Kyle yet? We good?
Dragon Riders suck. Yeah, okay, I'm good.
Okay, we're good. All right, well, that'll just about do it for episode number 38 of the Grab My Banner podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Also, if you guys missed it over the weekend, we had our first ever Summer Showdown boxing is back, baby. And the episode of the GMBBC podcast, the Grab My Banner Boxing Championship podcast, a new episode out now. It was a crazy event. We almost saw a new number 1. Old faces have returned. New faces are coming in. We had 3 rookies last week box their way into 1 box into the top 10, 2 just outside. So you want to tune into that. That's our Twitch channel. Go follow us at twitch.tv/GrabMyBannerPodcast. Summer Showdown happening all summer long. Anyway, boys.
Hey, Bab.
Yeah.
Let me talk my shit real quick.
Talk your shit.
Yo, listen. Just a quick reminder. We're sponsored by a company called Rep Sports. You can fucking go on to repsports.com. Get yourself a little bit of Raise Energy. Everybody needs a pick-me-up from time to time. I've been waking up before, 5 o'clock at least 3 times a week, sometimes 4 times a week. And honestly, by about noon, 1 o'clock, I could strangle literally anybody because I'm so grumpy. And if I don't have a little energy, man, I don't think I can make it through my day. Raise Energy, get yourself a case. Try all the flavors at once. And if you do, we're going to reward you. But you have to use our code BANNER at checkout. And if you do, not only are you going to get an awesome product at a discount, but you're also going to get a handwritten card from me,
That's
the
damn
one
right.
and only super producer.
That's damn right. And if you're not ready to commit to an entire case, you could get the variety pack 1 or 2 with some random flavors in there that you will enjoy because all of the flavors are fucking good. I'm telling you, all the flavors are good. Avoid the jitters. You don't need any of that. Get yourself focused. Get yourself ready to go. Boys, make sure you guys head on down to Twitter, Instagram, Discord. We had some new Discord members join this week. We got over 300 people in there. Tell me you won't find a teammate. Tell me you won't find a friend in there that plays on your level of Apex Legends. Get in there, get in there, get in there. All right, boys, that'll do it for this week's episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you guys next week.
See ya.